Right now, a Stoughton man demanding answers after his grandchildren got sick from eating food laced with THC from a Stoughton pizzeria. A story you'll only see on News 3 Now.
Howling Halloween winds out here on the patio. When we can expect them to end and when can we expect more heavy rain? Let's talk about that tonight.
And later, as the race for the White House reaches its final days, do those last-minute campaign stops really make a difference? We welcome you to News 3 Now at 6. And we begin with continuing coverage out of Stoughton. A resident outraged after his grandchildren ate pizza laced with THC. Now, the man says he found out about the contamination after watching News 3 Now. Tanisha Shaw has the latest on the investigation.
I kept reheating this and serving it to my grandkids, not knowing it was poisoned with THC.
Frank Quattromani's grandkids visited him last week from Florida. Their trip went sour when all three of the kids fell off after eating Famous Yeti's pizza. The youngest, just 2 years old.
Pretty much immediately, grandson, 8 years old, thought the house was floating and he was dizzy. Middle was 6 years old. Julia, she vomited several times, stomach aches, was feeling dizzy as well. And the youngest just kind of went to sleep, had some really bad diarrhea.
The family learned about the contamination with Delta-9, better known as THC, after watching TV. This morning, Quattromani attempted to press charges with Stoughton police to hold Famous Yeti's pizza accountable.
And they just made no effort to get a hold of people. I'd like to know why the Department of Health didn't make them look at call logs and call people.
Famous Yeti released a statement saying they asked for forgiveness, admitted they made a mistake, and said, quote, "We have been communicating with some folks who have been affected."
My understanding is the Department of Health isn't even going to pursue any charges or any kind of case. And so, you know, I just want to see some justice done here.
But the circumstances in this case were quite unique, and in this particular case, written orders were not necessary. Part of the reason for that is that the business voluntarily closed.
A major reason why Dane County's Public Health Department won't cite Yeti is because Delta-9 is legal. This is also why Stoughton's police department didn't press criminal charges.
And also that it was used inadvertently, so it was not purposely used in the products that they were selling.
They could have notified everyone. I wonder how many other people are out there that still haven't realized why they were sick last week.
I did reach out to the owner of Famous Yeti's via email, and I stopped by in store, but I have not received a response yet. Reporting in Stoughton, Tanisha Shaw, News 3 Now.
Dane County Public Health reported more than 60 people ate the laced food from Yetis. Over 25 of them ended up at the hospital. Well, the weather might be more of a trick than a treat tonight. Let's get your first one forecast. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Yeah, and a bit spooky too, Eric. That howling wind out here is really quite profound. It's calm for this brief second, but you're going to probably get a gust here over the course of the next couple of minutes. And it's chilly out there, 44. We've been used to 60s and 70s and 80s, and I said reality check would occur on Halloween, and well, boy, oh boy, it has, with winds out of the southwest and west at 13, sustained gusts well into the 30 to 40 mile per hour range. We got a wind advisor from Madison and points out towards the east. Planning the rest of your Halloween evening, bundle up, hold on to those costumes. Temperatures will be continuing to cool, and it is going to stay windy all the way through the trick-or-treat this evening. But eventually those winds will ease up as we go on into Friday, and it will be pleasant on Friday with sunny skies. Sunny skies will be replaced with rain in the forecast, and a lot of it. If you didn't get rain across southern Wisconsin, a few places didn't last night, there's plenty more in the forecast. And thanks so much for sending us this photo here from Madison showing some of those impressive rainfall totals. 1, 2, 3, 4 inches, some isolated 5 and 6 inch amounts. How much rain can we expect out of that stretch of wet weather? We're going to talk about that in a little bit.
All right, Alex, and of course, such a big night for many kids across Dane County. Trick-or-treating hours in many areas already well underway. News 3 Now's Armand Rahman live in Verona now with more. And Armand, how are things looking in Verona right now?
You can't jump the gun.
Yeah, you know, Eric, I think maybe just ask the experts that are here right now. I'm joined by all these trick-or-treaters. Guys, how's the candy been so far tonight? Best candy ever. Tell me, it's not too cold for you guys tonight?
No! Once you step outside, it's pretty nice.
There you go. Look at this guy here, too. He's been running around from house to house in this Stuart the Minion outfit. And he ready to go. He does not care. He is all. Hey, someone show me your candy haul right now. Let's see what you guys got.
We got a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a Rubik's Cube in there, too. That's crazy.
Tiny Rubik's Cube.
Tiny Rubik's Cube. There we go. Awesome, guys. Well, you guys have a good night trick-or-treating. Thanks for stopping by. We're still at this house in Verona that is getting a lot of traffic here tonight. Everyone's bundled up, for, the cold, blustery trick-or-treat, but it does not bother them at all. Take a look at this house here. I'm going to step behind just so you can see one more time. There's all the statues, all the different decorations. Over down there, you got a life-size statue of Eric Franke down there in the red. But, yeah, so Halloween not perturbed by the blustery, windy weather, although those gray clouds do keep moving in, as Alex mentioned. So, yeah, if you got a trick-or-treat, you better get out here soon. Verona's trick-or-treating hours end in roughly an hour or so, as along with the other municipalities across the area. So, reporting out here in Verona, wishing you a happy Halloween. Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. I'd be much scarier than that thing, but I know that street. I do know that decoration going on there. You're taking a live look right now. This is not the correct video that we're looking at here. We are going to take a live look shortly here at Milwaukee, where former President Bill Clinton, see if we can get up that live look from Milwaukee. Bill Clinton expected to speak on behalf of the Harris-Walz campaign any minute now. We're going to step back right now and listen in to the former president.
Now, nobody ever says it. Nobody just says, here's the simple problem. So President Biden said, look, what we need is to go back to the standards of the law. If you've got a legitimate fear of danger to yourself or your family, and you do not have a criminal record, and you do not present a threat to people based on any reasonable vet, then you could still be eligible. But we're going to have to limit how many people we can handle every year now because we didn't build it bigger. So you may have to wait a little longer to get in. He said, I will do that if people can live not luxuriously, but in a simple but clean place on the border so we never divide children from their parents again. And so we can actually vet them properly. And everything was going on. People said, can you believe they're doing this?
All right, that's some sound bites there from former President Clinton, obviously talking about the Get Out the Vote effort in the Milwaukee area, talking to folks there tonight. We should mention former President Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris will both be in Milwaukee tomorrow making a campaign stop. And we are now just 5 days away from the election. And both Vice President Harris and former President Trump continue to try to reach out to voters. Our Ellie La Liberté joins us with more about these efforts right up to the final minute. Ellie.
Yeah, Eric, well, this map is a testament to the energy both campaigns have poured into Wisconsin. The red here representing former President Donald Trump's 7 visits to the state, and the blue representing Vice President Harris's 8 visits. And tomorrow, as you said, they'll tack on some more. It will likely be closing arguments for Wisconsin voters.
Less than a week to the election. Battleground Wisconsin living up to its title.
But I think it's good that we're getting attention from both candidates, and I think it's good that, they're continuing to come to the state.
Both Harris and Trump returned to Milwaukee Friday, a city that was supposed to host the Democratic National Convention in 2020 and held the Republican National Convention this year.
So perhaps it's not just about getting out the vote, but it tells us something more broadly about what these campaigns represent and what they are trying to sell in a certain sense to their voters 6, 5, 4 days out from the election.
But some Wisconsinites are tired.
I think everybody's just tired of hearing it.
I'll be glad when it's over.
Despite that fatigue, Allison Prash, a UW journalism associate professor, says campaigns aren't letting up.
Honestly, both campaigns will just do whatever they can if it's going to matter for that particular, 1% of the electorate.
And it's not uncommon.
I think it is pretty consistent that in the final week going up to Election Day, yes, the candidates are going to be visiting these battleground states, and they're going to try and get out the vote.
The campaigns may not be done reaching out to voters, even if many are done hearing from them.
It's just too much coming on TV, everywhere, just commercials. So I'm just kind of tuned off now.
I think it's justified. I think it's good to highlight the importance and for people to get out and vote.
Tomorrow evening, Donald Trump will speak at Pfizer Forum. Harris also in Milwaukee, but the location has not yet been announced.
Ellie, thank you. Still ahead at 6, why affording a home in Dane County could get easier next year. Plus, there's good news on the economy, what a key inflation gauge is showing ahead of the Federal Reserve's next meeting. Stay with us.
You're
watching News 3 Now at 6. Brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
At Gruber Law Offices, winning is no accident. Our team knows what it takes to get you the compensation you deserve. If you've been injured, call us today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
So let's get one thing straight. When Donald Trump talks about cutting Social Security and Medicare, it's like spitting in the face of America's seniors. We paid into these programs for our entire careers, and he would just cut them? Why? He wants to give another tax cut to the super rich, which they don't need. I know that Kamala Harris will protect our Social Security because she understands why it's so important for so many of us.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
The problem with Todd Novak? He voted with his extreme party leaders 100% of the time, like voting against lower prescription prices. And Todd Novak authored the law to ban abortion in Wisconsin, with no exceptions for rape and incest. Todd Novak is with the extremists 100%, and he's hurting Wisconsin. Elizabeth Grabe will defend abortion rights, get more police funding, and bring down costs. Elizabeth Grabe for Assembly.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
I am a strong believer in pro-life. I am totally opposed to abortion.
Eric Hovde supports abortion bans. Republican extremists in the Senate already want to ban abortion nationwide. No exceptions for rape or incest. They want more anti-abortion judges. And to even make birth control and IVF illegal.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
We can't trust Eric Hovde.
Kamala backed Biden on everything. She was the deciding vote for his disastrous economic agenda. They raised taxes on the middle class, and prices soared. Kamala was in charge of his open border policies, giving welfare to illegals while Americans struggle, and their weakness invited wars. Now Kamala wants to double down on failure. It's time to turn the page on Joe and Kamala's failed agenda. President Trump fights for you. His strength kept us safe. Trump cut taxes for families. Prices were lower and the border secure. Now, President Trump can do it again.
And we are going to launch a new golden age of American success for the citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed.
Remember, Kamala broke it. President Trump will fix it.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Election 2024 reaches the finish line, and News 3 Now is your local source on election night. Our team brings you continuous coverage Tuesday on WISC-TV, Television Wisconsin, channel3000.com, and channel 3000 Plus. You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
The U.S. economy is top of mind for millions of voters, and today a new Commerce Department report shows the Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index is now at 2.1%. That is just above the Federal Reserve's 2% goal. The PCE, which tracks the prices we as consumers pay, is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge and one it primarily uses to make decisions about interest rates. Other notes, personal income up 0.3%. That's an uptick from August, and people are spending that money at a rate of 0.5% over the previous month.
We have to keep working to put downward pressure on costs where we can do so. Childcare, housing, prescription drugs, health coverage. All of those areas remain important cost-cutting policies for us.
A separate Labor Department report out today shows companies are mostly hanging on to their workers. Initial unemployment claims dropped by 12,000 new filings the week of October 26th over the prior week. Affording a home in Dane County could get easier thanks to a newly approved 2025 budget. The resolution includes $30 million total for affordable housing creation and preservation. This year's capital budget saw a more than 37% reduction from last year, sitting at more than $112 million. According to Dane County's regional housing strategy, the county needs to create more than 1,700 new affordable rental units per year to meet the needs of the population for the next 15 years. Still ahead, the CDC gives its findings into what caused the E. coli outbreak with the Quarter Pounders at McDonald's. Plus, if your child has allergies, Halloween can be scary for other reasons. How parents can make sure their children have fun when dealing with those allergies. Plus, how much can we expect to see the temperatures drop? Alex returns. Complete forecast after the break.
It's Hy-Vee's 3-day weekend sale. Tombstone and select DiGiorno or Jack's Pizza, just $2.99. Hy-Vee diced tomatoes or sauce, 49 cents. Pork shoulder roast, $1.48 a pound. And more, in-store and online. Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
California banker Eric Hovde has a plan that helps him and hurts you.
Here's the math. Hovde proposed $4 trillion in new tax cuts for rich people like him.
And we pay for Hovde's tax breaks with a 28% cut to Social Security and a 25% cut to Medicare.
Hovde even said he would raise the retirement age.
You have to start changing the retirement age.
Eric Hovde still helping himself and hurting you.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
The kindness, the efficiency, the respect was amazing.
From start to finish, they will take care of you.
Everybody is just so kind and everybody's so cheerful. I just never worked with a company where everybody seems to get along and they're all happy to be working for Cardinal.
Cardinal is the place to go for any type of work that you need done around your home.
I never hesitate with family, friends, neighbors to recommend Cardinal, and nobody has come back to me and said I was wrong.
Rebecca Cook believes our parents and grandparents should be able to age with dignity. In Congress, she'll vote to strengthen Social Security and Medicare by repealing the tax on benefits, lowering the eligibility age for Medicare, and allowing Medicare to negotiate lower drug costs so our seniors get the prescription drugs they need at prices they can afford. Rebecca Cook, a homegrown Wisconsinite who fights for what's right. Project 218 is responsible for the content of this ad.
So let's get one thing straight. When Donald Trump talks about cutting Social Security and Medicare, it's like spitting in the face of America's seniors. We paid into these programs for our entire careers, and he would just cut them? Why? He wants to give another tax cut to the super rich, which they don't need. I know that Kamala Harris will protect our Social Security because she understands why it's so important for so many of us.
FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
I, Kamala J.B. Harris, do solemnly swear.
Kamala swore an oath, but Kamala created crisis after crisis. Our troops murdered, an open border, crime in our streets, skyrocketing costs, assassination attempts, Americans abandoned during disasters, and we're on the brink of World War III. A broken oath and a broken America. Kamala can't be trusted in the Oval Office. Vote for President Trump and save America. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's Hy-Vee's 3-day weekend sale. Tombstone and select DiGiorno or Jack's Pizza, just $2.99. Hy-Vee diced tomatoes or sauce, 49 cents. Pork shoulder roast, $1.48 a pound. And more, in-store and online. Friday through Sunday at Hy-Vee.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Moving forward.
Well, the CDC says fresh slivered onions used on McDonald's Quarter Pounders appear to be the source of the recent E. coli outbreak. Last week, supplier Taylor Farms issued a recall of some of its onion products because of a potential contamination. This E. coli outbreak is tied to one death and dozens of others getting sick in more than a dozen states. The CDC calls the current risk to the overall public very low. It is a big night for all the ghosts and goblins out there, but trick-or-treating can be difficult for those who have allergies. Allergists say parents should consider packing an allergy-friendly treat just in case the child cannot eat the ones they receive. And also make sure you read those labels, but beware, some smaller candy packaging may not have ingredients printed, so consider a non-candy alternative.
Many parents are calling it the switch witch or the good witch, who comes and leaves a gift in exchange for the child's candy. So it's this nice trade system that can happen after trick-or-treating.
Allergists say that parents should also remember to bring their child's rescue medications at all times. She says that includes bringing an EpiPen if your child has a prescription for that medication. Temps cooling off as we head for the weekend. Alex now with a complete look at the forecast.
Eric, no 80s, 70s in sight across southern Wisconsin. Fall-like temperatures are what we're going to be after here for the next couple of days. A little mild as some rain moves in, but not that 80-degree weather that we have been having for these past couple of days. Now, trick-or-treaters, what are you up against for the rest of the night tonight? Temperatures slipping down through the 40s. You know it's windy out there. These temperatures feeling significantly cooler than where we have been the past couple of days. Nearly a 30 to 40 degree swing, really, quite frankly, across southern Wisconsin. We got 44 right now here with our capital Skycam. Winds out of the west-southwest at 13. That's sustained. Those gusts are getting up there at 30 to 40 plus miles per hour. You can see that still a bit here in our Dodgeville Skycam. Look at it shaking with all of the open terrain in Iowa County. Those strong gusty winds are going to stick around through the night tonight. Eventually, as we head towards Friday morning, those winds will ease up as we get further into the day. Temperatures cooling down into the lower 30s, so 32 to 33 out there. A little patchy frost, can't rule that out for our Friday morning temperatures. And highs on Friday, 40s to near 50 degrees. So that's going to be a big change to acclimate to after all of our recent warm weather. But with sunny skies and the winds turning light throughout the daytime, it will actually feel pretty pleasant for a early November day for a change. How about 57? So that's cooler, but that's still above normal for this time of year on Saturday with seasonable temperatures. Sunday, winds will be out of the east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. That's out ahead of a weather system that's going to bring showers and isolated storms to the area. That 59, believe it or not, that high temperature may not be till late Sunday evening, closer to midnight as a warm front moves up into the area with more rain Monday and Tuesday. We could use the raindrops, even though we had plentiful rain across a good portion of southern Wisconsin, except for areas down near Janesville and Beloit. We still have drought conditions across the area. Here comes the rain Sunday, widespread showers, maybe a couple of thunderstorms. A warm front comes through on Monday. We could be looking at a few thunderstorms at Monday afternoon going into Monday evening. Then the whole weather system fully pulls through the area as we go into Tuesday morning. This is actually a cold front coming through on Tuesday, so Election Day Tuesday should be clearing out as we go into the afternoon and early evening hours, but windy conditions are going to stick around across the area. Rainfall amounts here are going to be quite a bit. Janesville, Beloit, you need that rain, and right now it's looking like 1 to 3 inches widespread across all of southern Wisconsin with this weather system. And following this weather system, seasonable and fall-like.
And coming up in sports, Wisconsin men's hockey back on the road this week, while Mike Hastings says this series is all about leaving with points. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
When I was 27, I was diagnosed with MS. That's life-altering news. I had to prioritize my health and start taking medication. Back then, these cost $6,000 a year. Now the generics cost 5 times that. Senator Baldwin claims she's fighting to lower drug prices, but she's taking millions from Big Pharma and works for them. I'm not taking their money. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'll fight the corruption and lower drug prices because I've lived it.
Donald Trump has always wanted unchecked power.
I have the right to do whatever I want as president.
And with Project 2025, he'll get it. No guardrails. This time, he will eliminate protections for pre-existing conditions, and he'll cut Social Security and Medicare to give more tax cuts to billionaires. Donald Trump is more unhinged and unstable than ever. If we give him total power, he'll put everything at risk.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
Manufacturers selling baby food with high levels of toxic heavy metals.
Foods and cereals marketed to children contain a weed-killing chemical that some health authorities link to cancer.
Exposed to chemicals and additives that have been banned in other countries.
Half the tap water contains forever chemicals.
Enough is enough. President Trump and I are going to stop the mass poisoning of American children. We're going to make America healthy again.
Maha Alliance is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We all know what Eric Hovde's trying to do, falsely attacking Tammy Baldwin by questioning her personal life. And Eric Hovde's trying to scare you. The truth is, no sex change surgeries take place on minors in Wisconsin. 0. And Baldwin didn't give funding to a transgender clinic. It's actually a youth homeless shelter. Eric Hovde's a billionaire banker who thinks he can lie about anything. But Wisconsin's better than Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Wisconsin men's hockey is excited to turn the page to November because October was just one to forget. Out of the 3 series they played, they skated away with 1 win, and that was back on the 12th. Since then, it's been 4 straight losses. But the Badgers plan to end that streak in South Bend. They swept the season series against the Irish last year, and because of their slow start, they know they're going to need points in every series from here on out.
Getting points in every single series, especially on the road, is imperative. And so I think we're going to see a team that's very motivated to try and defend their home ice, and a team that's getting into Big Ten play for the first time. And it's something we have to take advantage of, trying to go and get some points on a very difficult place to play.
CJ Williams is our guest this week on Wisconsin Huddle. Catch his episode tomorrow night at 6:30. But before that, here's this week's sneak peek of Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed with former Badger standout Lauren Barnes. And welcome into this week's Wisconsin Huddle Unleashed. I'm Zach Hanley alongside Lauren Barnes, and we're going to attempt to play darts. Remember the last time you played darts?
No.
All right. Well, on that note, you can go first. Oh. So how does volleyball skills translate to the dartboard?
It clearly doesn't.
You know, you're still involved with the game, right? You're doing your camps. Kind of why do you keep, you know, holding these camps and, you know, kind of giving back to the game?
Yeah, just like you said, just to give back to the game. I had a lot of people help me along the way, so wherever I can give back.
They don't really show me throwing those.
Did you do well? You fare well against?
No comment.
You always say, I win these things. I don't know about her. She probably beat you. Let's go to Alex. Quick final check.
Sure. Trick-or-treaters, windy conditions out there. Temperatures going down through the 40s as we move out further into the future. Rain is on the way to southern Wisconsin again by the end of the weekend and early next week.
Well, if you're out driving, be really careful. Look out for those trick-or-treaters, folks. We'll be back here tonight at 10.